Ha ha ha. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. The boy is back in town. Yes, I am rolling solo for Dolo. Today, it's your boy Phil. This is episode 405. Command this. Yes, you see my eyes. Guess what? Going to put some shades on. Things are feeling pretty good today. Why? Well, we did win this past Sunday. That's one. If we beat the Eagles again, that's two. If we beat the Cowboys on Christmas Day, that's called a winning streak. It's happened before. Anyway, so yes, I know it's ironic. You had Steve and Dev on Monday and not me, and now you got me and no Steve and Dev. Steve has family commitments. He will not be able to make it tonight. Dev has family commitments, but maybe in on the show later on, just depending upon whether or not he's able to get home in time. Until then, you've got me, your famous ranter and raver, the man who speaks very, very, very distinctly into this microphone right here. Welcome again to Command This. And we're going to go into this week's game against the Eagles. First, we're going to check this. We already got comments coming in. Lil C. White, what's up to you? Day is good. Day is good. It is a little odd to be doing this solo, but I've done it before. But nonetheless, day's going pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good. I got some thoughts on this game. I got some thoughts on a particular move this team has made. I will discuss that today. Hope your day is going well, Lil C. But let me first give some thoughts on something. And those thoughts are on Mr. Jaden Daniels being shut down for the season. So Jaden is, of course, out for the rest of the year. He's been shut down. And he has stated he's frustrated with that. He understands, but he's frustrated. We have 3 games left. You're talking about 180 offensive snaps. I wonder if it's a matter of they don't think he's going to be physically ready to play, or if they're just like, nah, we don't want him getting hurt again. If it's a matter of this, he ain't going to be right by the end of the season. By all means, shut him down. If they're doing it just because, even if we miss the Eagles game, it's only 2 games, we're out of it. Just sit him. I don't like that. I don't like the idea that this man's health is bigger than the team. And it kind of comes across that way to me. Now, I'm probably alone in those sentiments. I understand that. But I've always been a believer, if you're healthy, you play. Now, they say he wasn't medically cleared to play, whatever that means, because he's still cleared to practice. And he's practicing on the sidelines. I just want to see the kid get as many game reps as possible, especially when you're injured. When you're dealing with injuries and had such a disjointed season, all the reps you can get are going to help you from accumulating rust. And that's going to be, we're going into an off season. You're not going to be doing any contact. You're not going to be taking any live rounds. So I just feel like this better be a case of they don't think he's going to be ready to play the rest of this year. If it's simply because, we want to protect him for next year. I've already expressed my sentiments on that last week. And if you don't know what they are, well, check our YouTube shorts, check our Instagram, check all of them, because it's there. If you believe that, I got 2 words for you, and it was already expressed. But anyway, nonetheless, Got more comments coming in. Mr. Steve Lim. He's still sitting at church at the concert. Hopefully he can make it in. In the meantime, yes, I am the GOAT. You know it. Thank you for the $5, sir. You can put that right back into the fund that pushes this podcast. Little CY says things going well with him. He says, it'll be interesting to watch Drake Jackson make his debut on Saturday. Can't wait to see what we have in him and if he may be here long term for the future. Drake Jackson, I mean, it will be nice to see because we did pick him up knowing he was injured. And, we haven't seen him yet. He's just gotten the clearance to play. So I am interested to see if he does add anything to the pass rush. We need a pass rush. If we want any chance of running the table in the coming games, we're going to need as much pressure on the quarterback as possible. That's supposed to be something he can do. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about the upcoming injury reports. Let me pull this up for you, wonderful people. So I can't get the same nice image that one Steve Lim does, but I do have the I don't know what in my screen here, but there we go. All right. So we have Eddie Goldman out. He's dealing with concussion. Jaden Daniels, limited participant practice because of his elbow. He's out. Laramie Tunsil has an oblique injury. Didn't practice Tuesday. Was limited on Wednesday. Did not practice today. He's out. This is the first game he's missed this year. Colson Yankov has an ankle injury. He hasn't practiced all week. He's out. Jonathan Jones, rib injury. He's a full participant Tuesday and Wednesday. Didn't practice today. He's questionable. Johnny Newton is sick. Didn't practice today. He's questionable. Depends on how he feels. Now, after that, we got a lot of full participants. So you got George Fant, which is Dev's boy. He is good to go. Drake Jackson, as we talked about, good to go. Chris Rodriguez with a groin injury should be good to go. Bobby Wagner, knee injury, didn't practice Tuesday and Wednesday. He did have a full practice today. He's probably good to go. I know a lot of Jordan McGee fans aren't going to be happy to hear that, but, what's Jordan McGee done? Anyway, on to the Eagles side of things. Let me flip over there real quick for you. Now, make this nice and easy for you guys to see. It's the best I can do. Eagles injury report for today. Jalen Carter did not practice. He's out. Lane Johnson did not practice. He's out. Jalen Carter's got a shoulder injury. Lane Johnson has a foot injury. So you will definitely see a lot less in the way of false starts not called on Saturday because Lane Johnson's not playing. They had full participants in Saquon Barkley, who's dealing with a stinger in his neck. Zach Bond, hand. Tank Bigsby, illness. Landon Dickerson, calf, but he's also getting rest. Fred Johnson, ankle. And Jalen Phillips, knee. Now, Cameron Latu and Cameron Williams were full participants, but they're still listed as questionable. So, Jalen Carter being out is big. Lane Johnson being out is big. These are two heavy contributors to the Eagles' success. But their stars still around. And they're doing their thing. So, it is what it is as far as that goes. I mean, it's not such a tremendous deal as far as injuries go that one could sit there and say, oh, we might be able to beat these guys just because of how banged up they are. That's not the case. So, Brian Elias sitting here says, we're about to get murdered. Red Rum. Red Rum. And LCY agrees that yes, it is huge that Jalen Carter is out. David Brown says, can we see some Ben Sinnott? If not, why did we draft him? Well, we did see him make a big catch on Sunday. I don't understand either because it's not like when he's been out there, he's played bad. He's actually worked his ass off to become a decent blocker, which he has not necessarily been coming out of college and everything. He was not known for his blocking. In fact, he was known as strictly a pass receiver, and he gets downfield. He makes plays. You watch him play when he's actually doing things. He reminds you so much of Chris Cooley. I don't know why you don't get this kid more snaps. But since we seem to be, like last week, we seem to be so committed to the run that's probably why you saw John Bates in there. You're going to see Sinnott more when it's passing down time. But John Bates is a better blocker. That's why you're going to see him when it's a run-heavy game. So that's probably why. But I think we drafted him not realizing that Zach Ertz was going to, do what he has done past 2 seasons for us either. I really think that they did not expect to get the production they got out of him. It's no one of the surprises from last year. They weren't expecting us to go 12-5. We were not expected to go to the NFC Championship game. We were not expecting Zach Ertz to turn the clock back on his career. So I think that hurt Sinnott's chances of getting on the field more than anything. That and Sinnott didn't need to work on his blocking, but he's done that. He's a much better blocker now than he was when he was drafted. So we shall see. Moving on, we're going to talk about matchups to watch. Now, this gets interesting. I really want to see our pass rush with Drake Jackson in there. I want to see who the whoever their backup is, which I don't have the depth chart in front of me. Whoever the backup is, going up against the Drake Jackson. Let's see if Drake Jackson's motivated to try to make something happen. Jacob Martin, guys like that. Let's see what they can do. Now they're not, if we put them over a right tackle, they're not going against Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson false starts and holds on every play, never gets called. His backup's not going to get that quality. So we shall see there something. I want to see something. I want to see if we can try to take advantage of that a little bit. Jalen Hurts, bit of a struggle bus. He's a game manager. And there, I know somebody said, well, all these other guys can have poor seasons and they're still considered great, but Jalen Hurts has a couple of bad games and he's considered trash, blah, blah, blah. But Jalen Hurts is a game manager with better legs. He has a smaller room for error before things look really bad. He's not a dynamic quarterback. He's very good at what he does, but he's not a dynamic quarterback. You can pressure him if you can generate pressure. No Lane Johnson means you have an opportunity to generate more pressure. So I like to see what our pass rushers do against the backup right tackle as far as matchups go. The other matchup I am interested in is I want to see our offensive line versus their front seven in the run game. We did a really good job last week running the ball against a pretty formidable front seven that the Giants have. Let's see if we can continue that against the Eagles. It's the same run game we've cried for all season when we were losing. It's like, why aren't we running the ball more? Why aren't we doing this more? Come on. It's successful. We're still one of the top rushing teams in the league, despite everything. And congratulations to Bill Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Bro got another Pepsi Rookie of the Week. award for his performance against the Giants. So we have to commend him for that, of course, because hey, we like Rookie of the Week awards around Washington. We did see Jaden get how many last year? So congratulations to Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt on that. So those are the two matchups I'm really interested in seeing. And you have to forgive me. I'm talking through a little bit of a raspy voice here. Let's get to the over-unders. We're just flying through this spot. We're going to get to the over-unders. Now, as of right now, the Eagles are 7-point favorites, and this game is in Washington. So really, it's a 10-point spread. But home field advantage, 7-point favorites. Over-unders 44.5. We'll get to predictions in a second, but that's what you're looking at with your over-unders. Now, we're going to look at some of the stats here. So, for instance, passing yards. Jalen Hurts, 209. I believe. No, I'm sorry. These are averages. These are not predictions. So, oh, God, I hate these betting websites because none of them just give you something as far as the over-unders. And forgive me, I thought I had something pretty good here, but that didn't happen. They're just giving averages here. Goodness. All right. Someone tell BetMGM their site is trash. I'm going to say it right now. I am sorry to hold you all up like this, but I thought I'd had a better site than this set up. So I am going to go look at something else. One moment. Please forgive me. Yeah, BetMGM sucks. Okay. Here we go. Doc Sports. Okay. Yeah, these suck too. My goodness. I don't know. I will say this. I don't know what site Steve uses. I wish I did because it works so much better than anything I got going on right now. But Steve's, busy, so he can't tell me what he does. And usually he's the one who pulls these up. So, all right. Looking at some of the prop bets here. So, Eagles players, Jalen Hurts. The over-under on his passing yards is 217.5. I have a hard time feeling he's going to get over that. I don't think he's going to need to. Besides, I have a hard time believing he's going to get it. I think he'll be at like 205, 210. I just don't think he's going to get to over 217.5. That's right about the higher end of what I expect he's going to have. 27.5 rush yards. I think he's going to cap that for sure. Saquon Barkley rushing yards 75.5. I have no problems believing he's going to do that. Marcus Mariota. They got prop bets on him for 202.5 passing yards. I think he's going to be over that. I think he's going to be throwing a lot. And I think he's going to get to that. And also 29.5 rushing yards per game. I can see him hitting that too. Realistically, that's all they got here. I guess because we don't know who's going to start because, Bill had a good game last week. But at the same time, we've been shuttling running backs in and out. So we don't know who to put stats on. You can't put stats on A.J. Brown because A.J. Brown has just not been getting the production with Jalen Hurts. Those two have some kind of terminal beef. They do not get along. They are not on the same page. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, moving on. I wish I'd had a better segment for you on that, but unfortunately, the website gods said no, you cannot find a decent number of over-unders on player props. So, predictions. Again, Eagles are predicted to win by 7. The game is in FedEx. We are coming off of a pretty interesting week for both teams. And the reason why I say that is because Philly is struggling, and we just came off of a win that really was not as close as the score suggests. The Eagles at one point were 8-2. They're now 9-5. They lost 3 in a row, and then they whooped up on the Raiders, but that's the Raiders. Sorry, Rod. But we whooped on the Raiders, and we stink this year. So what does that say? They lost to the Cowboys, and they lost in a comeback fashion. They lost to the Bears. They lost to the Chargers. We actually had, in two of the 3 games they lost, we've played all these teams. The only one that we had a worse game against were the Cowboys, because we played a tighter game against the Bears. We were winning that game till the end. And then we beat the Chargers. Now, I'm using UFC math there. Obviously, matchups are different, times different, injury reports are different, yada, yada, yada. But these Eagles also lost to the Giants. And we've had no problem handling the Giants. So I don't know. It may be a matchup thing. We may match up better. Philly's kind of cruising right now. They're at 9-5. They are, 2.5 games up on Dallas with 1 game left to play. And they have clinched a playoff spot. We are 4-10. But it feels like we're worse than 4-10 and we're better than 4-10 all at the same time. So it's hard to say. I really feel like we should be more like a 5-9. I don't feel like we're quite as bad as our record says, but we are. You lose who you lose to, you beat who you beat. So just to kind of give you an idea of offense versus defense, we actually score almost 21 points a game. Eagles score 22.9. That's their defense. That is their kicker. They only allow 19.4 points a game. We allow 26.8. And also in turnovers, we are minus 12 in giveaway takeaway. They are plus 4. They're 8th in the league. They are right by us. We have 191 pass yards per game. They have 199. They have 115 rush yards per game. We have 137. Technically speaking, we get more yards per game than the Eagles. So take that for what you will. It's the defense. It's the difference here. They are 10th in passing yards allowed. They are 22nd in rush yards allowed. Keep that in mind. If we can get a ground game going, this game gets very dicey. So 44.5 point spread. I'm going to say take the one more thing I'm going to look at, because this game fascinates me. Because I almost feel like we can kind of catch the Eagles slipping here a little bit. I want to see what the weather's going to be like. 44 degrees and rain. It's NFC East football in Washington in December. 44 degrees and rain. And, it's a chilly rain. I think that's going to keep the scoring down. And I am going to predict, take the under. Take the Eagles, but don't take the points. 19-17 Eagles. This is going to be it's going to be, I don't like moral victories, but I feel like that this is the closest thing to it. We are going to dogfight these guys. I feel like that they are trending down at a time we are trending up. Now, it doesn't mean much, but outside the Vikings game, we have looked like a viable NFL team the last 3 of the last 4 games. So I'm going to say 19-17 Eagles. So Marcus Edlin drops in and says, "What's up, my brother Phil? What's up, brother man Marcus, the hardest working man on Facebook?" Says, "If we play the Eagles like we played the Broncos, I'm confident we can win." I'm kind of talking myself into it. I'm hedging my bets. I'm going to say 19-17. But if I were a betting man, I would lay the money on Washington. I think that just because of the fact that I think we got more than a puncher's chance. So I'm going to say 19-17. Take the under. It's going to be cold and rainy, and it's going to be, if both teams are forced to go to the ground, Washington has been overall better as a run team. And the Eagles don't have a great run defense. I mean, neither do we, but they don't have a great run defense. And we have stonewalled some teams in the run game. Not great teams. I mean, we stonewalled the Giants twice. We stonewalled a couple other teams. So it's possible. Now, a lot of dominoes got to fall in a very, very, very specific way in order for that to happen. But it's possible. So I'm going to say 19-17 Eagles. Mark Seelan gives his prediction, says 24. He says Washington 24, Eagles 21. So he's taking the over, and he's taking Washington to win outright. I like the confidence, Marcus. I can't say I totally share in that, but I can't blame you either. I can't. It's not. It's hard to say, but there's something about this game that just smells like it's going to be a dogfight. It's a Saturday game. It's the Saturday game. It's total late season NFC East weather. Just everything feels like it's not the blowout Eagles fans probably just think it's going to be and that we expect it to be. As Washington fans, something smells fishy about this game. I could be wrong, but something smells fishy. Like things are not going to go the way you would think they would when a 9-5 team plays a 4-10 team. That's just me. Any other predictions? Drop them in the chat. I will try to get to them before the end of the show, which we are barreling down to the end to. So I'm going to drop some music here. We're going to get a little bit of a nice background going here as I drop this. Hold on one minute, please. But if you're out there in the comments, drop your predictions. Tell me what is good in your life as well. I am going to share a little something with you, and we ain't doing no damn Paul Rudd moment of the week. Let's get that out the way. Gonna share a little something for you. It's Christmas time, and this is one of my favorite times of the year. And one of the things I try to do is I'm very big into very specific charitable organizations. I like supporting local food banks. I like supporting people directly if I know them. And I, support organizations like that. I support the hog farmers. Shout out to the hog farmers, friends of the show. Don't see them as much in the chat, but I know they still listen. We definitely dap it up when, Steve and I and Deb and all of us go to the games. We see them for sure. But this has been a tough year for a couple people I know. And luckily for me, I'm in a position where I can help these people out with making sure they keep a roof over their heads, food in their fridge, things like that. And I do it because I remember a time which that was not always the case for me. There was definitely times before this podcast that you hear that wonderful sound when the power gets cut off because your bill's late. You got to run down and scrape up some cash before all your stuff spoils in the fridge. Things like that. I've had that happen to me, man. I've been in those spots, and had to work myself out of them. But a helping hand would have been nice. So now that I'm in a more fortunate position, I'm hoping to help some people out so that they can pull themselves up. And I do it for people who I know aren't looking for handouts. They want to hand up. So if you know people that are struggling and you can help assist them, do it. And just do it because it's the right thing to do. Because you want to see your people win. And that's what I do. And that's kind of my pre-Christmas message to y'all. Make sure your people win. Make sure your friends win. Help them out if you can. If you can't, I understand. Not everybody's got it like that. I don't got it like that. But I got a little bit. And it's definitely been nice to help some friends out during the holiday season. And then lead up to it, try to help them get out of some bad situations. So anyway, comments rolling in. I just wanted to share that, not because I'm like, oh, look, I'm such a good person. Just things like that, like helping people out like that, it does warm my heart. I know I come out here and I can say some cold things. I do got a heart. And it's nice to be able to do things to help people, like I said, keep a roof over their heads, make sure, they got kids taken care of if whatever the case may be. Make sure they got, they're able to pay their car notes, things like that. If they got, help them out with things like that. No, some of them I help them out. I've helped a couple people out with finding new jobs. I've done resume reviews, everything. I'll help people out. Because people who I believe are good people, I want to see them win. And you should have that mentality too. World's a better place when you got a little bit of charity too. And Steve will tell you, like I said, I'm a big fan of food banks. When I won the first Command This Washington Football Addicts Fantasy League, I donated all my winnings to the Capital Area Food Bank. So if you can assist people in any way like that, please do so. Jim Sleazy coming in clutch with the $5 at the end here. Said, what up, Phil? What's popping? Oh, I'm just rolling solo tonight. Just trying to make sure that we get you out some content. Let me throw this on here. Money gong. For Mr. Jim Sleazy. Thank you very much for that. Jim says 27-24, good guys. I like your optimism. I said 19-17 Eagles. I said this game does smell like there's something in the air on this one. Little C White says that he says it smells like a Washington win, and with Chris Rodriguez back, he expects us to get the running game going once again. We got it going last week too, without him. I just think that we just need to lean on everybody more in that backfield. McNichols needs more carries. Everybody needs more carries. And he predicts 31-24 Washington's going to beat the Eagles. You think we're going to put 31 on them? You got a lot of hope. But you know what? I like your optimism. Marcus says he'll be in the thread. So, for those who are not part of the Washington Football Addicts group on Facebook, we are over 7,000 strong. We have threads every game day. By the way, if you comment outside that thread on game day, I am going to delete it and tell you, hey, game day threads, go in the game thread. We don't want to spam up the page and everybody talking about some play or talking about how this guy sucks or that guy's great or whatever. Do that in the game thread. Let's message everybody in here that is part of the group. But anyway, we have a game. We put up a game thread, and you just comment, and we just do like a live chat basically on Facebook, talking to each other. Talking about, and we basically like live commentary just by text. So you can sit there and watch the game on your TV. You can text your thoughts in the group. It's a lot of fun. And a lot of great observations by some of the people in there, just like really keen eye stuff. So you kind of, you'll learn to look for things. Other people, you understand when you got, and some of these game threads are fine, can get up to. Now, this year has been a little less because the team's been bad. But when the team's good, I mean, I've seen that thing get up to 600, 700, 800 comments, in the thread as we go along. You get a lot of eyes looking in there. People will see things differently, and it helps you become a better observer of football as well. So anyway, Mark says he's going to be in the thread Saturday afternoon. I will definitely be there as well. And he says, be good to everyone. We're a family. I've learned to tell your blood and non-blood family you love them. I have to. I have learned in recent years really to invest in those who are willing to invest in you. That is something I have learned a lot recently. Invest in those who are willing to invest in you. So you're right. And those who show you love, you show them love back. We are all about this right now. Phil C. White's a great Mr. Phil. We appreciate it, man. 100% Phil gets it. I try. I try. I'm an opinionated man, but I come in here, I say some hard shit. I'm opinionated, but it's also because it's football. I'm having fun. There's a whole real world out there that I got, that I gotta go out there, and you gotta go out there, and we all gotta participate in. When it comes to the real world, you take it a little differently, for sure. Jim Sleazy says he is pulling for 5-1 record in division. Do you know how insane that would be if that happened? Do you know how insane it would be for us to have a losing record and go 5-1 in the division? In a way, we would have bragging rights to say we were the best NFC East team in the NFC East. We had the best NFC East record at 5-1. If only we could have beaten somebody else or a couple more people, we might have had a shot. Could have been a contender. Anyway, so was holding out, see if anybody else got anything to add in. Like I said, Steve and Dev couldn't make it tonight. I couldn't make it on Monday. Guess what? It's that time of year. But Monday, we'll do a brief recap on the Eagles game, and then we are doing our Christmas spectacular, Christmas craptacular, whatever you want to call it. We are doing our Christmas show, and there is always good stuff when it comes to the Christmas shows as well. I'll get back to that soon. Mark Sealand says, see everyone Saturday, big bro. Let's get the win, because he's got a friend who is an Eagles fan. His name is Brian. He can't wait to shut him up. Let's see why it says Christmas special. So there was a website I used to write for, and they had a podcast, and every year they did the Crimbus Craptacular. It's going to be a barbershop episode. If you have been here for our barbershops, you know how much fun they are, because once we get the official football out the way, it is anything but. It's a hang, all right? You get to hang with me, Deb, and Steve, not necessarily talking just football. We are talking our shit. It's like when you hang out, you go down to a good barbershop, and you sit there and you're talking to everybody else. You talk to the guy, who's shaping up your beard. You talk to the guy, the guys who work there. You're talking to the people sitting in other chairs, people sitting there waiting. And you have those bullshit sessions, except ours tend to be a little more substance fueled, but it is tons of fun. I'm sure Dev's going to have a Christmas song already made up for this year. I loved last year's, last year's and the year before. The year before was my absolute favorite. Yeah. The Commandus Pod. We did the Commandus Pod is coming to town. That was tremendous. And even though that song actually took a shot at me, it was good. I love it. Dev is, y'all don't understand how talented Dev is, because I know a lot of times, he's sitting there in his corner of the screen and all that, but Dev is a very, very, very talented artistic person. You hear this beat that's playing behind me? That's Dev. It's his interpretation of Hotline Bling. I mean, the intro themes, both of them that we play at the beginning of the show, are Dev. All beats are by Dev. In fact, just so you know, all music created by Dev. And I'll even continue, because there's stuff on here y'all may not have heard. But this one's also Dev. And what he does, he recreates. He does his own individual beats. These are recreations that he's done by ear. But Dev's got all kinds of stuff here. Yes, Dev does.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I can play Dev stuff all day long here and just talk about how great he is. Talented as all hell, y'all.
Set the scene.
Honestly, if you have a Spotify, go find Dev on Spotify. There's a female artist named Dev too, so you gotta look for it. I believe his is all caps. You've got to subscribe to him. He puts out new music all the time. He just put out an album earlier this year, Interlude for Lovers. He self-produces everything. That's our guy. So, anyway, if you have not subscribed to Dev on Spotify, please do so. You know, he makes some great workout music, great stuff, everything. Little C. White says he hopes the Christmas song is about how Jalen Hurts and the Eagles lose to us. Jalen Hurts smells Christmas song will be funny. Deb likes to keep it more themed to this show. But if we do beat the Eagles, I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes part of the Christmas song. Just because no one's expecting it. Although, seems like all y'all are expecting it in the chat. I'm the only one tonight who said the Eagles thinks the Eagles are going to win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think they're going to win by 2 points. But I think we're all feeling better about this team. You know. And here's the thing, though. Come Monday, win, lose, draw, ass kicking, whatever happens, we're going to have a good time. So I hope to see y'all there. And in the meantime, for my missing compatriots that would be on one side of me or the other, I'm Phil. This has been Command This Podcast. Peace, hail, and I'm